What's up, y'all? It's your boy D-Style, another D-Styles Extrapoint. This is VLOG29. Uh, want to make a quick one real quick. Not too much have been going on except for Ravens filled up the last spots of the coaching staff. I'm not going to go through that, but they filled up the last spots of the coaching staff. Can't wait to, it's going to be a presser for the new coaching staff, the coordinators next week. Shout out to Cole Cat getting his job. Anthony Levine, well deserved. About time he got his shot as a special teams coach. And I can't wait for the presser. Like I said, I think it's Wednesday on the 18th. I think the 18th is Wednesday, so can't wait. But I want to get into this, right? What's up with your man's Harbaugh? Like, I never seen him in so many interviews, especially on camera interviews, with so many people all of a sudden. Now I understand that he's the new coach of the Giants. Just like when Jesse Minter was hired as the new coach for the Ravens, he had interviews, but right after. But John Harbaugh is getting a lot of interviews, not just from everywhere, like national or whatever, but from Baltimore local media. And it's on camera because usually he didn't. When he was here, he didn't do that a lot. He did like an audio interview, but it's like he came back to Baltimore or Baltimore media to do interviews uh, with Baltimore Sun, Ryan Ripken's show, Cal Ripken's son, his show, and then WBAL, and I think that was it. I think that was it. And the way he was talking, right, it's just like everybody just seeing how big his ego really is. Now it's like everything's starting to come out, and he's starting to really look at him from afar. It's like we not looking from the inside, being with the team, being fans of the team, and he's our coach. Now we looking at him from the outside, what we've been dealing with for all these years, and now it's like you see him talk like he's saying like how he's proud of all of his former coaches, Mike McDonald winning a Super Bowl, what's his name? And then Jesse Minter, our new coach or whatever, saying he knew they was going to be coaches and stuff. And he was saying one thing about Jesse Minter. He was saying like, he knew he was going to be a great coach. And he said some a little, I don't know, it was a little slick comment. He said, hopefully the Ravens be, not, I'm not going to say the exact word he said. I don't, I can't remember exact word he said, but he was like something like to the, it's like, the Ravens going to be, they're going to be the Ravens. They probably be the Ravens who they are with Jesse Minter. And he said Jesse's going to put his spin to it. Like, probably. What do you mean we probably going to be the Ravens? We still going to be the Ravens. The culture is still going to move on of being a physical team. It's just that when you was here, we reached the ceiling of where you can take us. So I don't want to little slick comments. And then he said he said he was following up on who he was going to hire. Like he wondered, like it's funny how he was looking on. Okay, I wonder who they going to hire. And all this and right after he got hired by the Giants, like he's still keeping tabs. Like I know, John, what you trying to say? It didn't. It don't stop there. Then he was talking about all of his coaches. Like he said, I knew they was going to be uh, coordinators. Like he was on WBAL. I forgot what was the guy name. He was interviewing him, and he was like, "Yeah, at first I didn't believe in Mike McDonald. That first year he was the defense coordinator for the Ravens, but he got better." And John was like, "Yeah, I told you, and I told you I was right." Basically, like yeah, I told you I was right. Of course, like he said, I'm glad you admit that you was wrong, and I was right. That he was going to be a great coach. And Jesse Minter, I know he's going to be a great coach. And basically, like he was saying, like people don't bring up like why he's part of them two is part of his coaching tree. Like boost his ego, like I discovered him, which he was under him and he did, but you don't have to brag about it so much because remember, both of these coaches work for your brother too. They learned under your brother too. They learned under Jim Harbaugh. Mike McDonald was with you, even though he was with the Ravens as a assistant for years under you. But when he went to Michigan, he was under Jim Harbaugh, and they went to. They didn't go all the way to the championship. I think it was the conference championship of college, but he did great there. And then he came to the Ravens, and then Jesse Minter, our new head coach, actually won the championship with Jim Harbaugh. So it's not just you; it's your brother. Because them two, if that was the case, when they was in on your staff, they should have just moved up the ranks on your staff then. If you believed in them that much. I'm just saying. I'm not saying, they was young too. They was very young and they still learning. But at the same time, you believed in them like you did Zach Orr being a young coordinator. Then why you moved them up? They went to coach with your brother, then they came to the Ravens. So, well, Jesse was with your brother in college, and then he came with your brother into the NFL for 2 years. Then now he's a head coach for the Ravens. So, but still, they start with Jim. It's not just you; it's Jim too, and the other spots they was coaching at. Well, especially Jesse Minter, and then plus Jesse Minter, his biggest, where he get his inspiration of just coaching is his dad, Rick Minter, who's a legend in college and NFL. So it's just, I understand, but it's like you boosting your ego. It's like now we seeing John and his ego just now. It's like he's on these local Baltimore Baltimore media platforms and sports platforms on camera. I'm like, he was never this much on camera doing interviews in Baltimore as I can remember. The only time I remember he was on Rich Eisen, and he did he'll do like an audio type of interview, or if it's by local Baltimore Ravens media, as in the team media, like he did last year when he signed that extension, and he said this is not a Super Bowl bust season, this past season. He'll do it on camera. It was an interview, but other than that, he been doing that lately. And then to come back here, and he going to get interviewed by Mike Preston. I wonder where Mike Preston got some of that false information from. Was it John Harbaugh's team? Because I'm starting to put two and two together. Why all of a sudden you go in there all happy and you cool like Mike Preston, and all this false information about Tom Monken, the players walking out on him, and then with Lamar Jackson sleeping in team meetings and playing video games late. Like, who's feeding him this information? This false information? Is it your team? You and your team, Harbaugh? I'm just saying. Something just not right. Trying to cover your own ass not gonna work, brother. Just saying. Your ego can't listen. You're not a bad coach. You're not a bad person. You're genuinely you're a great guy, great person, but your ego gets in your way. You get a little too braggadocious. It's too much your way, the highway, or let me coach. I know what I'm doing. Because it's to the point you are comfortable. If we have a losing season, you're okay with it. Just like you said last year, it's not Super Bowl bust. Whoever said that never won anything for. So you settled with having that one Super Bowl with the Ravens because you was like, listen, I got my one Super Bowl, so we get there or not, we'll get there. We'll eventually get there. It's like your ego gets in the way, brother. Thank God Zach Orr, he got a coaching job. I predicted this too. Zach Orr will be a linebackers coach under Mike McDonald after Mike McDonald winning the Super Bowl with the Seahawks. I had a feeling he was going to go back to his buddy because them two was close. And Mike McDonald helped Zach Orr. So during the season last year when we was on that bye week. So him and Zach, I knew that them two would link up back together because Zach Orr got offers to be a defensive coordinator. Linebackers coach for the Cowboys and I think the Raiders, but he wanted to wait for the Seahawks after they win the Super Bowl to go back with his buddy Mike McDonald to really teach him and to really build him up to be a the proper way to build him up to be a great defensive coordinator. Harbaugh just moved him up the ranks like that over Anthony Weaver, over Denard Wilson. Now he want to have Denard Wilson. Then I'm hearing something about him trying to get Rex Ryan as a defensive coordinator. I'm like, you could have been asked for Rex Ryan to come back. Like, come on. But see, it's on a new team. You got a big deal, so a big, huge five-year deal, which I think worth $100 million. So you're gonna do what you want. You're gonna get all the veteran coaches now. So, but you didn't do it here. You was very comfortable just running everything here. But now you gotta prove yourself again in New York Giants in that division. So I wish you luck, Harbaugh. Wish you luck, but man, your ego is, whew. I like every Ravens fan is like, man, I think thank God we don't have to deal with that no more. Not saying you were the worst person in the world, but man, your ego got in the way of a lot of games we could have won. Especially the AFC Championship in 2023. But hey, I'm just blogging on it. As other Ravens content creators doing. But we all see the same thing about you. Let's be real. But other than that, wish you luck. This is vlog 29. What's up with your man's Harbaugh? I don't know. But anyway, I'm out. See y'all next time, probably after the Ravens presser for the new coaches, head coaches, and the new defense coordinator, offense coordinator, Declan Doyle, Anthony Weaver, and man's co-cap, Anthony Levine as our special teams coach. I'll probably do a video on that after they do their presser and see what they talk about and how and the direction for the team and everybody else and Lamar and everybody. Can't wait to see. Peace.